So now we go to the presentation now, which is the first presentation is on cool transportation by Professor Bawa and colleagues from EMI. I am an IFRI, William. Willow, sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to continue with the presentation on coal transportation. Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to continue with presentation on coal transportation with my co-presenters, Welonshi and then Futoshi Yamauchi. So, as we all know, the objectives of the intervention coal transportation project aims to contribute to connecting spatially distant production, supply, and demand welfare gain. By doing that, it's going to reduce food loss and increasing income, improving nutritional outcomes, and at the same time, improving spatial connectivity in horticultural value chain. Potentially, this will create macroeconomic gains through improved allocative efficiency if scaled up in the country, where production, supply, and demand centers are distanced from each other. As we know, the origin markets and the destination markets are different. The origin markets are in the north and the northeastern part of the country, while the destination market is in the south and southwestern part of the country. So reducing food loss in production, supply areas located in the north and the northeastern part of the country, if scaled up, it is going to bring about increasing consumption and improving nutrition, health, and also potentially creating employment opportunities at the origin and the destination markets. And also in the horticultural production system. So background of the study. As we know, efficient food value chains from agricultural production to consumers are critically important to achieve a sustainable agri-food systems that delivers fresh and healthy foods and also human outcomes. As we know, in many developing world, a large portion of fruits and vegetables that are being produced are reportedly lost and wasted due to lack of cold chain and cold transportation system. This contributes to post-harvest losses, food insecurity, and invariably malnutrition. So as we know in Nigeria, about 50% or half of fruit and vegetables production is lost because of lack of inadequate cold chain and cold storages and cold transportation. As a result, not only the availability of those vegetables and fruits that is affected, but also there are issues of safety and nutritional content of the food that reaches the consumers. Efficiency of food values, food safety, dietary diversity at the consumer level can be enhanced through the cold transportation system. And also, as we know, cold transportation can reduce food loss and wastages, which can deliver safer and healthier food to consumers, especially in the southern and the southwestern regions of the country. So the cold transportation intervention, that is the randomized control trial, we've introduced three 20-ton refrigeration trucks in the three horticultural markets of Faringada market in Jos, Mudalawal market in Bauchi, and then Engwari market in Gombe. So we are having randomized control trial where we are going to have both the treatment and the control group, and then after then we do impact evaluation. And the bundling that we came up with had to do with plastic crates, which enhances quality, and also labeling, which enhances quality signals. So these are the three markets I mentioned, the three origin markets, and then the destination market, which is in Lagos. That's the Mile 12 market. So in the research design, in each of these origin markets, we are going to have 15 round trips in each of these markets, and it approximately takes 1 week, that is 7 days, to transport goods from the origin market to the destination market that is in Lagos. We have done baseline in 2023, where 600 wholesalers were randomly selected and interviewed, and out of that, 331 indicated interest to participate in the project. Sorry, okay. So when we look at that, in the randomly group participants, we now divided them into 5 different groups, having 8 wholesalers in each of the groups, and we now rotate these wholesalers. For example, we are having group A, B, C, D, and E. One of the group is going to be the treatment group, while the remaining 4 groups are going to be the control groups. So we had 2 phases of the RCT, one in the first quarter of 2024, and then the next phase is coming in this fourth quarter of 2024. Each round with a follow-up survey on outcomes at both the origin and the destination markets. Sorry, it's not. Okay, still, I'm not getting. It has paused. Okay, this is part of the boundary that we have talked about, the provision of the plastic crates and also the labeling. So the timeline, the scoping started in 2021, while the design and partnering was done in 2022. Procurement and baseline took place in 2023, while the test run RCT phase 1, RCT phase 2, and the analysis and reporting is taking place in 2024. And as it was clearly stated here by Futoshi, we have partners that we work with. The private sector partner we work with is ColdHub, which we went into an MOU with them in 2023. And the government partners that we work with are the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, that we've gone into an MOU with them in 2024. And as we clearly stated, the baseline for the coal transportation took place in 2023, and we are splitting the RCT into two, the Q1, which is in the first quarter, and then we are resuming the Q4 in the fourth quarter. At this time, I'm going to invite Welun to take us through the baseline.
Thank you, Professor Bawa. I will introduce briefly about the baseline study. So basically, our baseline study has finalized on December 2023, while the agents respond whether they want to participate in this study. And later, we split the agents into the treatment groups and the control groups. So the RCT participants expressed an interest in joining the RCT in December 2023, and then they are randomly selected as the treatment groups and control groups. And we can see that the RCT participants and non-participants, they show some differences. For example, the participants are more likely to have access to the cold storage, while non-participants, they have stronger market associations, like they are more likely to be in the wholesalers and they're more likely to be in the trade members of trade associations. But the treatment groups and control groups are very similar. We'll explain a little bit more in the tables. There are 5 treatment groups randomly defined, and each of the treatment groups have 8 people. So basically, for each market, there are 40 people in the treatment groups, and it is rotated by round, and it's going to the rest of the agents are control people, and it is a subset of which to follow up. So our first round of the RCT is already completed, and the second round of RCT is expected to complete at the end of the year. So you can see this table. This table may not be quite clear, but I'll explain a little bit. So from this table, we can say, I borrow this. Yeah. So we have the 3 markets, the Jos, Bauchi, and Gombe markets, and we have a list of variables that is investigated. And like for this variable, they use the cold storage. We can see that the Bauchi market has 51.5% of the agents that use the cold storage, comparing with 11.5% of agents that use cold storage in Jos. So there are very big difference here, which shows the heterogeneity of the markets. And also we can discover this variable, which is on the storage place here. You can see here, well, the Bauchi market has 81.5% of the agents owns storage space, comparing with the other 2 markets, only 40.5% of agents surveyed agents has a storage space in Jos, and only 27.5% of agents in Gombe owns a storage place. And so there's other variables that show some difference, like the quantity of tomatoes sold. Well, in Jos market, each agent on an average sold 12,067.41 kilograms of tomatoes on average for one agent, and comparing with 5,192 kilograms in Bauchi and 4,050 kilograms in Gombe. And there are other variables that was noticing, like state native, and is a member of association, where we can see that in this market, 97.5% of agents in Bauchi is state native, and also 99% of the agents surveyed is member of trade association, which means that the market integration in Bauchi is pretty high. It's higher than that the market integration in Jos and Gombe. So this heterogeneity of different markets is worth noticing. And lastly, I want to talk about the difference between the treatment group and the control group and participants and non-participants. We can see from here, basically, for most of the variables, the treatment groups and control group are well balanced, which shows no asterisks here, which means that the p-value is higher than 0.1. So basically saying that these variables are well balanced. But for participants and non-participants, some of those variables shows very big differences. Well, those variables include whether they use the cold storage, whether it is member of the trade association, whether it's still stored in the cold storage, and whether they expect what is their expected price. But for the other variables like the household size, like the ages, and the quantities of tomatoes sold, and also is the surveyed agent a wholesaler, or if they are surveyed in the main market, they are quite similar. So basically, they're saying that the agents has very basic. They are very similar in the behavior, and they are very similar in the profile, but they have some differences in some of those variables. Whether they want to have the linkage to the market association, or whether they have used the cold storage, or whether they are using the cold storage right now. So I'll go back to Professor Bawa, talk more about the.
Okay, thank you very much. So here we are depicting a snapshot from the first round of trip we took from Jos to Gombe. So we will look on the graph, the destination sales, net transportation cost, origin market sales, and the purchasing sales. So the net transportation cost shows the total cost incurred in transporting the total number of crates in the truck. That is the total cost of transportation divided by the number of trucks to give you a unit of how much it costs to transport one crate of 20 kg from the origin market to the destination market. And if we look at the origin sales and the destination sales, we will see that there is a differential of nearly 5,400 from the origin sales and the destination sales. So this is the return to coal transportation, naira per crate of 20 kg crate that was transported in one of the tomatoes we took from Jos Market to the destination market in mile 12 in Lagos. Thank you very much. Futoshi?
So now of course, we faced a lot of challenges through the interventions. I just listed a few of them. Okay. As we already understand, seasonal risk or fluctuations, seasonality, or they're also combined with regional gaps. This is playing a very big role. Profitability of this kind of business or intervention, or anyway, the impacts depend on the seasonal fluctuations, but supply and the price, and then spatial differences, gaps, between the production hubs and the consumption hubs and so on, especially that prevalent in a glut season. Also, we faced various risks. Fuel cost is fluctuating, and sometimes there's a hike in fuel cost that really depresses the profitability. And the mechanical maintenance failure, we actually faced such a serious incident too. We lost all the tomatoes in one incident. So those are very important. Also temperature control and then road accident and then checkpoints by police. Those are creating a lot of uncertainty to this intervention. And behavioral side, of course, driver will be gone from the original market. We really don't know what the drivers are actually doing. Okay, so that moral hazard, what we call moral hazard, is a very serious issue. Are they driving safely or carefully, or are they really maintaining or temperature control? In one incident, not in our intervention, but I heard tomatoes are completely frozen and then it's lost. Such an incident is really easy to it's easy to see this kind of thing. It's not just a matter of imagination. And then trust between the transporters and the marketers are really serious. Better to have a formal agreement, or in many cases, we don't have any insurance provisions. Okay, that's also an important issue. And the initial cost for truck is huge, and this kind of food system in general and food transportation, specifically facing a macroeconomic issues, a high inflation rate. Of course, fuel cost is one example of that, and this insecurity issue, especially depending on the area. We also are aware of this. And policy intervention side, of course, road has to be good. Road quality, road networks. Road network is very important to connect the different areas, and the safety regulation and the police checkup points also an issue. But at the same, another important part of the policy consideration is subsidy. We're not just driving, or we're not just moving from one place to another. We're not just the transporting goods from one place to another. We are cooling, so that the marginal cost and the marginal price, this kind of a issue, we have to reconsider. There's a room for subsidy for gas price or gas cost, and also the taxation is a vehicle taxation. Then we have to differentiate conventional trucks or conventional transportation and cooling transportation. We're not just driving, we are cooling. So preserving food, helping people. So has to be considered through of course, we can easily think about subsidy as an economist.